What's up, guys, and welcome back to my channel, Simply Fabulous Creations. I'm Karen, and today we're going to be reviewing one of the palettes from the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette, and today we're going to be using Armed and Gorgeous. If you guys want to see how I created this Armed and Gorgeous look, then keep on watching and let's get started. But hold on a second. Before we get started, please hit the subscribe button, like this video, and don't forget to touch that bell so you can get all of my notifications for my future videos. Now, let's get started. So for those of you that might live under a rock and may have not seen this Vault collection, then it's the second palette collab that Jaclyn Hill has done with Morphe. And if you guys don't know what the original Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette looks like, it looks like this. It's white packaging and silver, just like these right here. Very pretty. Mine has been very used and abused, as you guys can see. I have shown it lots and lots of love. To be honest, this is like my all-time favorite palette. Whenever I'm doing makeup on my clients, I always reach for this. It's just a very beautiful palette, and so I have high hopes for the Vault collection that these eyeshadows will be just as amazing as these eyeshadows right here, but we'll see. Packaging on these are super cute. I don't know if you guys can see, they all have like their individual palette names, and then they have Morphe X Jaclyn Hill, and all of the packaging is like this with the little silver confetti, and it's super cute, and they all have a mirror. So this one right here is Bling Boss, and this is the purple palette. Then we have Dark Magic, which was one of my favorites, and I think the main reason as to why I purchased like the Vault. I just thought that the colors were so pretty. And then we have Ring the Alarm. This just reminds me of fall, so I'm assuming that, you know, I'm going to be reaching for it quite often in the fall. And this one too. This was the second reason why I bought it. I love it. I'm at a point where I have so many eyeshadow palettes that I just like to purchase like eyeshadows that I really don't have. And I did love the Jaclyn Hill one, so that was another reason. And I feel like these colors right here can complete that palette, and then whenever I travel, maybe I won't need anything else but this Vault and that. So I'm really hoping that the color payoff in these eyeshadows are amazing. So I believe that I'm going to start with the Armed and Gorgeous palette, which is the yellow one, just because I feel like this one is the one that sells out the most. I guess it's like the most popular one out of the 4 palettes. And FYI, if at any point I need like a color to complete the look, then I'll be reaching for the Jaclyn Hill palette, the original one, just to go in with the theme of Jaclyn and Morphe. So I was really excited when I heard that she was going to release these shades, and yeah, I'm really pumped. So I'm going to use just a regular blending brush. Oh, and before I start, just so you guys know, I did go ahead and I did my foundation and a little bit of cream contour, and my eyebrows, just to speed the process, because I will be doing 4 looks, so I don't want this to be, it's already going to be like a long video, but you know, or maybe I should split it into a few videos. Yes. So I went ahead and I finished this one eye off camera, so you guys can see how beautiful the colors are looking, and I'm going to do this one on camera to show you guys exactly how I created this look right here. So you're going to grab your palette, and using a blending brush, this one I believe is from Coastal Scents. BR250, and I'm going to dip into the shade Access, which is like that beautiful marigold yellow, and you're going to apply it onto your crease using wiper motions back and forth, back and forth. I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but I did prime my eyes, and I set it with a bone shade color, and so that way that'll prevent some creasing throughout the day. So you're going to build this yellow. I did it like 3 times because I really want that yellow to like peek through. We are going to be layering several colors. I'll say this, I layered about 3-4 colors on the other eye, and everything blended pretty good. I did not have any issues, hardly any fallout. I did have a little bit, but not that many. So you guys can see it's nice and yellow. I feel like now that I dipped into it the first time, I must have removed like that initial like layer, and so I only have to apply it twice. You're gonna grab your MAC 224, which is my favorite blending brush, and it's clean, so you're just going to buff down that shade. Just make sure everything is seamless. I'm going to grab a different blending brush. This one I believe is the Sigma E25. Sorry, my brush is old. And we're gonna dip into the Top Secret shade right here, which is like that army green, like that olivey green, such a pretty color. And we're going to go just a little bit below the yellow, and we're gonna start blending these 2 shades in. So this is really gonna go inside your crease, and we're going to build this color a couple of times because we want it to be as green as possible. You don't want to completely cover that yellow, so like I said, leave a little bit of it peeking through. This is definitely going to be a beautiful palette to use for the fall. I mean, I believe you can use any color year round, but like these are like more like nice, make you think of a pumpkin or something, all of the colors in this thing. So I'm going to grab the MAC 224 and I'm going to buff those 2 shades in together. Make sure everything is seamless. This Morphe doesn't have a number on it. Oh, okay. This Morphe like flat shader brush, and I'm going to grab some MAC Fix Plus, and I'm going to mist it generously, and I'm going to dip into this shade right here called Coin. It's like that. It's gold, but I don't know. Like it really does have like that. The perfect name, because it is like when you think of a gold coin, like that nice shimmer. And this shade right here is super pigmented. Like look, I will say this, I'm using the brush just to kind of like apply like this first layer, but honestly you'll see how intense it looks once I apply some with my finger on top of it. Definitely, I feel I've been seeing with a lot of eyeshadows, like the Huda Beauty one, and like even some from like Jaclyn Hill, just anything that has like that textured eyeshadow, like it applies better with the warmth of your finger. So I mean, don't be afraid. I know some people don't like to use their fingers, but I've gotten very accustomed to applying certain shadows with my finger just so that I can get like the best color payoff, and it's not that bad. I'm going to take my finger, like I said, make sure that it's clean, and you're going to dip it in that same shade, and I'm going to just dab it on top. You see how it enhances it. I don't know. it's amazing how just applying it with like the figure just gives it like a more intense look. So then we're just going to take like the MAC 224 and we're just going to buff that very gently because you don't want to remove that eyeshadow. And then using a Royal Langnickel Omnia eye highlighter brush. I love this little brush. It's like a super small, like a skinny crease blending brush. It's perfect. I have a couple of these and I love them because whenever I want to be like precise and just get into like that small pocket, it fits perfectly and it gets the job done. So using this brush and the shade Smooth Criminal, which is this brown right here. Oh no, before we do that, we're gonna go back into Top Secret, which is the green. I forgot. We're gonna just dip into this. We're gonna tap off some of the excess and we're going to lightly go, just follow like the shape of where you place the gold. Because remember, we want it to be like a gradient effect, like how you see here, how it's like from lightest to, so, you know, we want the green to peek through the, and I like to lift up my eyebrow just because my eyes are hooded and I want to make sure that I get the color exactly where I want it to. So using that clean MAC 224, we're just going to buff it in. So it's not like green, yellow. So we're going to dip into that Smooth Criminal brown shade that I showed you before, which is this one right here. And we're just going to slowly, oh, I can't believe that happened. See, this is why it's important to have that translucent powder underneath. It totally slipped out of my hand. So we're just going to start right here, like in the outer V, and we're just going to swirl that into like a little V shape. You don't have to be super exaggerated. It's just to add like a little bit of warmth to the eye so it's not like yellow and green, like too neon-y. Like you want to warm it up a little bit. So, and then just kind of like with the remainder, just dust it through that crease just to like mark it. Okay, so we're going to take a little break from the eyeshadow because sometimes I like to apply my eyeliner just to see if I need to add a little bit more eyeshadow to the look. Alright guys, so to save some time, I applied my eyeliner off camera and I am going to put on my lashes. This is the Kiss Lashes Lash Couture Triple Push-Up Collection and this is the corset one. It's my first time trying it. I mean, whenever I would use lashes, I used to love the Ardell ones, but now Kiss has been getting their game up, and I've tried several of like their like couture lashes, and they're really good. So if you guys ever get a chance to buy some, I suggest you pick a couple up because they really are nice. Some of them look really intense in the packaging, and you're like, wow, like that's too much. But then you put them on and they just, depending on the eye look that you're going for. So I like to trim off like a little piece of the end. My eyes are kind of small, so some of these lashes are too long for me. And I'm applying it with my Lash Duo glue. And the trick is to let it get tacky for about 30 seconds before you apply it directly on your eye. That way it adheres and it doesn't fall off. Alright, so let's complete this eye look. So grabbing a pencil brush, I dipped into GILT Trip, which is like the gold color right next to the coin shade that we use on the lids. And this is going to be applied in our inner corner just to give it like that nice highlight, and be generous with it. You know, this is not a day look. This is so you can stand out anywhere you go at nighttime, maybe the club. Definitely the club. This is a good look for the club. Okay, and now we're gonna work on our lower lash line. And for this, we're going to use that Smooth Criminal brown shade that we used before. And we're going to apply that with a brush like this, just a nice definer brush. And we're going to start on the outside and just start blending that color in. And just make sure you drag that out underneath your eyeliner wing right here. I didn't do an intense wing today. I want it to be all about that gorgeous, what is it, coin shade that we use. It really is pretty. We're just going to buff that. Okay, and now dipping into Top Secret again and using that same blending brush, just clean it in between. You're going to dip into it and you're just going to go over that brown that you just applied, and we're going to mix those two shades together, bringing it out towards underneath the wing, just to kind of like expand your eye, make it look a little bit bigger. And to highlight the brow bone, we're going to go in with this Bobbi Brown Bronze Glow highlighting powder. It's very pretty. I'm sorry, I let it fall a little bit and it's like all over the place. I'm going to apply it on the brow bone using this flat shader brush, and I'm really going to dip into the bronzer. This is like a soft bronzer, highlighter, and I'm going to be very, and just get in there. You can bring it down a little bit there. See, bam. Okay, now that we sprayed the MAC Fix Plus, we're going to grab that same brush that we use and we're going to dip it into the coin shade, and we're just going to add a little bit right here. We're going to kind of like connect it with like the GILT trip shade that we did and the green, and it's just to like bring down some of that color that we used before, and we're going to blend it in. Grabbing a little bit of that brown, that Smooth Criminal, and like a little blending brush, this is when you just kind of dip it in there. Just a little dab will do you. Now to completely finish our eye, we're going to add a little bit of mascara to the bottom lashes. I mean, you can completely skip this step. This is the They're Real by Benefit mascara. This is a little sample that they gave me, but I've purchased this mascara before. I like it. I like the tip. Like, this is perfect for like your bottom lashes, or if you're just trying to like separate your lashes, this is good. Okay, I'm gonna finish the rest of my makeup off camera, and then we'll be back to give you my final thoughts on this Armed and Gorgeous palette. Okay, let's talk Armed and Gorgeous. Do I think that you guys need to run out and buy this palette? That is completely up to you. I am very happy with the way that my look came out. Like, that coin shade alone is worth the $15. I mean, when I swatched these shades on my arms, they swatched beautifully. They were super buttery, and they had a lot of pigment to them. And as far as applying them on my eye, I did not think that there was a ton of fallout. I mean, you guys saw it wasn't like a mess. There was a little bit of fallout, but that's to be expected. And there was like a little bit of like fallout on the pan, but that doesn't bother me. What's important to me is if I purchase something and I can create beautiful looks on myself or my clients, and I can see myself using this one palette on many, many people and on myself, because that coin shade is going to become one of my favorites. I love it. And I didn't get to use the white just because like I didn't think it went with this look, but this white is like really intense, so as an inner corner highlight I can see myself using that a lot. Look how shiny that is. So I mean, it's completely up to you. I mean, what do you guys think? Do you guys love this look? I'm going to post some pictures on my Instagram and see how many people like it. I think it's beautiful. And you know what, guys, I saw the Priscilla Ono doing NikkAtutorials makeup the other day, and she said that Rihanna likes it when you take the highlight and you apply it from the brow bone up to your temple and then down. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but I was trying to be cool and I tried doing that technique, and I do not know if you guys can tell with my horrific lighting, but my highlight is popping and I'm feeling a little bit like Rihanna. So there, thank you Priscilla for sharing your little tip, because I am going to be doing that all the time now. All right, guys, so on a serious note, you know what? You do not lose anything if you guys run to Ulta, buy this one palette. At least it's just $15. That one shade, like I said, coin is worth the $15. I mean, if you think about it, some of these eyeshadows that are a little bit more high end cost like $20, $25, $30 just for one, you know, shadow, and this is a whole palette for $15. Is it a necessity to buy the vault or anything like that? No, makeup in general is not a necessity. It's just you wanting to go out and buy something that you like. I know that I buy makeup because I like to collect it. I like to see it. I like to come up with like an idea in my head of what I want like my makeup look to look, and be like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna use this color, and just get inspired by it. Makeup is so fun, and it's nice to have more than just a nude lipstick. So yeah, I loved my palette. I was really lucky that I got a good one. I know that there are a ton of inconsistencies with some of the palettes, but you know what? Sometimes that happens and we shouldn't judge, you know, like worst case scenario, you go, you buy one, comes out crappy, you just return it, exchange it for another one, you might get lucky. I know that somebody did that and they got lucky the second time, and you just never know. I am a Jaclyn Hill fan. I am a Morphe fan. Most of the stuff that I've purchased from Morphe, I've had absolutely no problem, and I say most because recently I've just noticed that their little white hair bristle brushes that I've bought from Ulta are like shedding more than like my other brushes, like my Sigma brushes or my Real Techniques or my MAC ones. Even like my Royal Langnickel ones don't shed. These right here, these brown ones that I have, they're great, by the way. So if you guys are looking for like a great brush to invest, this brand right here, the Royal Langnickel, their brushes are amazing, and I recommend them because the few that I have I love, and I regret not buying more. So there. So the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette is Simply Fabulous approved. I love it, and I cannot wait to create more looks with my other palettes, and this is going to be one of my staple palettes that I use all the time, at least for the fall. So till next time, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial, and remember what I always say, stay fabulous. Bye bye.